Hey, good morning everybody. It's Rich. It is another beautiful morning here. I just finished a great morning routine, my sunrise energize. I was actually going to shoot a little footage out on the patio, but they're tearing up the street. They're like redoing the alleys here, so it's super loud. So if you hear some noise in the background, that's what it is. Anyways, I want to talk to you today about a topic that I had a conversation with one of my mastermind groups. You've heard me talk about my different mastermind groups. So in my group that I meet Wednesday evenings, we were talking about how in life, this is kind of a philosophy. Basically in life, you live it in 3/3. And I kind of break it down into 30-year blocks. So you've got the first third, second third, and the third third of life. The first third is basically the first 30 years of life where you're kind of trying to figure out what is this life all about, how did I get here, what's going on, and we're for the most part a little bit lost in life the first 30 years. The key point here is that in this first 30 years you basically get indoctrinated into a way of being, and typically you take on the way of being that your family has. So you take on the routines and the rituals and the beliefs typically of your mother and your father. And that kind of creates who you are as a person in general the first 30 years. The second third of life, two things we'll talk about. Number one, this is where we typically focus on creating our own family, and obviously career is a big part of the second third of life. So for most people that's the focus, it's family and career. Now, for people that are on the plane of higher consciousness, another part of the second third of life is what I'll call detoxifying from the first third of life. So in the second third of life, maybe we start to realize, you know what? Hey, maybe the way I was brought up was not exactly in alignment with what I truly believe, and we kind of detoxify from that indoctrination. Basically what I'm saying is we take on our own way of being, we create our own beliefs, our own way of being, and ideally we become our own man or woman. We basically become an individual. So that's a lot to deal with because we're raising a family perhaps, we're working on our own career, we're creating our own financial stability, and we're dealing with the detoxifying of the first third of life. It's pretty heavy. Most people never really get there. You heard me talk all the time about how most people numb themselves from life with drugs and alcohol and sex and TV and food and all that stuff. I think that's a big reason why. We don't want to look at a lot of these things. So that's the second third of life. And then ideally the third third of life, from age 60 to 90, and hopefully you live longer than that. But the third third is the word enlightenment. So ideally, by the time we get to age 60, and my point is, and this is what I try to do with the people I work with, ideally by the time we get to age 30, 40, 50, we can really start to focus here. Ideally, by the time you get to that third third, your family is pretty well set. Your financial life is very stable. Now this is a big challenge for people in today's world, especially people in their 50s and 60s. Maybe it was stable, and now with the economic collapse, now they got to really think about that more. So hopefully for you, you can get beyond that. So we've become our own individual. We've got our family set. No, not that family still doesn't come up for the rest of our lives, but we're not maybe raising small children anymore. Ideally, by then your children are kind of grown up and gone. So the family set, financially, career set, maybe you're retiring. You've become your own individual. You're done detoxifying from that first third of life, and now you can focus on enlightenment, whatever that means to you. You've heard me say that as important as your family is and all those types of relationships, probably the most important relationship that you'll ever have is with the divine, with God, with the universe, with nature, with your higher self, whatever you believe in. So that's all I'm going to share today. I want you to think about it, the 3/3 of life. First 30 years is what am I doing here, how did I get here? Second third, kind of detoxifying from the indoctrination of the first third. And then the third third is enlightenment. To me, the goal is let's get through the first two quickly so that at a very young age we can still focus on career and family and life and all that stuff, and then really turn our attention towards enlightenment, higher consciousness, traveling, exploring. And why do I want this for you? As you've heard me say a million times, what I really care about is that you're happy, that you enjoy your experience of life. And what I know is as you become your own individual, as you detoxify from anything that you need to from the beginning of your life, as you step in your own power and become your own individual, and really create that divine partnership, that divine relationship, and you're living your life on purpose. I could keep going on and on. You get it. When you get to that point, life just becomes amazing. And that is my goal for you, to have an amazing life. So I'd love your thoughts and comments as always. Have a great day, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye-bye.